were the only person I felt myself around.
After all these years.
It's Anthony from GLAAD. Elliot, nice to see you. Hillary, so nice to meet you. You know, Elliot, I got to talk to you. This is such a beautiful film. And I was thinking, I was like, what a wonderful experience it is to have such an important film at such an important time in your life, but it happens to be with one of your friends at the same time. Tell me about that comfortability, because I feel like so much of what I saw was just the two of you just loving on each other.
One of the most exciting things about this project when it came along was saying, hey, Hillary, I think I've found this thing we get to do together, because we've been really wanting to. You know, we met years and years and years ago making a movie called The East together, but we didn't really work much together in that movie. Stayed friends. Our friendship just deepened over the years and had really been wanting to find something. And this came up and I just immediately was like, oh my God, this would be perfect for us. And Hillary's just so brilliant, so open, so generous as an actor. And so, yeah, to go into a process like this, that is an unusual way of making a movie, definitely a vulnerable experience, to get to do that with someone that I care about so much and trust so deeply. It was the best. It's the best.
Hillary, I'm going to come to you. Speaking of the unusual way of making this film, I'm so fascinated by it, and I kept thinking about it so long after I saw the film. So basically, so much of this is improvised. There's like kind of a skeleton of what's happening, and then the two of you or who's ever in it kind of just go in and do it. You know, how much of what you said in the film was, of course, for Sam, but I would imagine so much of that transcended and was you talking to Elliot at times as well.
I think that in this process, you jump into the moment and into the space and and for me, that was into the space with Elliot and Sam. And I feel like whenever I'm acting, I'm bringing myself to meet the character, because that's just what happens. This is what am I using to tell the story? It's me meeting my character that's on the page, and since the page didn't have lines, but it did have information. It just feels real. That's what's happening. Yeah. We're in the story and we're trusting each other.
Yeah, well, it's so beautiful to see. Elliot, back to you. I think, what a process, filming this. I think it was last year, and then obviously with festivals, and now here we are. It's about to be in theaters. We're so excited to see you back on the big screen. How are you feeling now that, this project, which has gotten a lot of attention for so many reasons, the world is going to get to see you in this on the screen again?
Oh gosh, I mean, always makes you feel a little nervous. For me, making this was truly just one of the best experiences I've ever had. I would love to work in this way again. Waking up and going to work every day was such a thrill, and I felt so present in that, and so lucky to have done it with Hillary, or the rest of our incredible cast and crew. And yeah, the fact that it's festivals, someone bought it, it's coming out, like, it's all amazing. But I think for the most part, I really do try and cherish the experience and not worry too much about outcome, because you can't. And you hope that the film ultimately reaches people who maybe really need to see it.
Yeah.
Feel, I don't know, you just hope it reaches people and you make them feel.
Hillary, obviously, at GLAAD, we know that there aren't enough trans masc-led stories, especially on the big screen. What's it like for you to be hopefully a part of this growing wave of allyship and support when it comes to these stories, and being a part of this, obviously with your good friend Elliot? But I think it's so important that we see these characters and these stories.
I mean, it feels hugely important. I feel like it's an honor to be a part of this, and I feel like it's a gift to the queer community. Happy to be part of it. It is looking at a specific experience, but it's really beyond that. The point of it, we're all, love and the human experience, and that each individual matters and deserves to be seen and deserve to be loved.
Elliot, I was thinking if you could imagine like how different that story would have been had Sam not had this, friend and confidant in town while they were going home and, having difficult conversations and being around people that are not always, the easiest to be around.
Yeah, I mean, this, him running into Catherine and then spending this time with Catherine again, I think that's where we see. I mean, Sam's very different around Catherine than what we see him around his family. You know, you see this ease, an ability to breathe. He's in his body more. You do feel, I think, joy radiating from him. Whereas around the family, you know, they're trying, they accept him, but they're not really seeing him. They're still projecting still have their expectations for what they think he should want or what will make him happy. And when he's with Catherine, we see these people who really see each other and love each other in this very pure, true way. And thank goodness we have that for Sam and in the film. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hillary, thinking about when you met Elliot 10 years ago or a little more, what was it then about Elliot that you loved so much? Because I love that, it's been more than a decade that you've been friends and now back working together on the big screen.
Really, that experience for me, meeting Elliot and many other actors on that set, and it was a very fun, wonderful experience. But I just remember really living with Elliot, and I did feel it's hard to explain, but I did feel like he's fine. We had fun together, we laughed together, we talked about deep things together. There were times when I would feel sad or missing information as a deaf person or other things happening. I felt like he's fine.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Elliot, we talked about a little bit about this film. Hopefully, people see it that need to see it. And I think about, there's two parts of that. The people that maybe never have met a trans person before, but also I think there's such an opportunity I think about trans kids getting to see this, which it's so tricky for the youth out there right now. What's the hope and the message that you especially want the queer community, the trans community to take away from Sam and this amazing story?
What I'll say is when we've sat in an audience with mostly like when it played at the BFI's Queer Festival, so with like mostly a queer and trans audience, the amount of laughter, it was so lovely, which you're not necessarily expecting with this movie. And it was so much like laughter, recognition. I think for me, so much about what this film's about is just what it means to feel truly seen. And if someone, you can just hope that people are getting to go sit in an audience and feel reflected potentially some of their experiences or what they've been through, or offers something that we just don't get enough of. And I think in so many ways, Sam really lets himself lean into where he's finding joy. He's putting up, I think, healthy boundaries that are good, that give him space from a situation that is not serving him. And here he is seeing someone he loves and feeling seen. And we're sensing the joy that he experiences through that, and how much he thrives when he's in a space like that, where he's just kind of getting to be him. That's a long-winded way of saying, I just hope it offers something where people can feel potentially reflected and allows them to, go on a journey that we don't always get to see.
Thank you for sharing that. That's what it's all about, seeing yourself, feeling like it's representation, all of that. Hillary, I don't want to spoil the ending, but it does have an ending. But have you let yourself kind of think about what actually happens after that scene? What happens, to Sam and Catherine? I know I already was. I was like, well, what, but it's fun to kind of fantasize about what happens, because there are some things to navigate for sure.
Of course, it's something that we talked about for sure, and we didn't make a decision about what definitely happened. And that competition was also happening with Dominic and what he wanted to explore in terms of love stories and the nature of love, young love, and ideas that we have when we were younger, and also unrequited love, or jumping in and changing your life. I mean, I wonder what happens with the two of them. We've talked about that. Like, could we do a part two?
Yes.
What happens? Yeah. So yes, I've wondered, and I don't have the answer for you.
Elliot, but of course, you know, my partner and I just started the last season of Umbrella Academy last night. We're very excited. Have you wrapped your head around, because it's been a part of your life for so long, and the fans, we love it so much. It's kind of, you've said goodbye, but, you know, it's still rolling out a little bit. How are you feeling now that, you know, such a groundbreaking show that, you know, especially connects with queer people, but beyond, you know, has kind of wrapped up and you're saying goodbye to that?
Oh gosh, well, this last period of being in LA and for the press and the premiere, it was definitely a sad, you know, we were there
Yeah.
just reflecting on the whole experience together and what it's meant to play these characters and what it's meant to have audiences just respond the way they have. How lucky did we get? And I think that's the big word I go back to, lucky. Like, I feel so fortunate to have been on that show for 4 seasons, to have gotten to play Victor, to have gone through the journey with Victor that I went through. But yeah, like, we're all, I think, ready to move on and feel
Yeah.
happy with the 4 seasons. But of course, it feels very odd and strange to say goodbye.
Well, I so appreciate the time. And, you know, speaking of lucky, we're so lucky to have Close to You. Just a reminder, everyone will be in theaters August 16th. Elliot, Hillary, thank you so much. Congratulations. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks again.